Hey, what's happening, guys? I am back with another quick, easy keto dessert recipe for you. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make some keto brookies in just 5 minutes. And not only are these brookies keto friendly, but they're completely gluten-free, they're totally sugar-free, and they are really low carb as well. Each one of them has just 3 net carbs. So with that said, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into the goody good time stuff. Make some healthy brookies. All right, first things first, we're gonna make our chocolate chip cookie dough. So to do that, we're gonna cut up about a tablespoon or 14 grams of some salted butter. We're gonna add that to a small bowl, and then we're gonna quickly melt that down in our microwave. Then while that's melting, we're gonna add about a quarter cup or 25 grams of almond flour to a small bowl. And by the way, if you don't wanna use almond flour, you can always use pecan flour, walnut flour, or sunflower seed flour in its place. And of course, not only are all these low carb, but they're gluten-free flours too. Anyway, after we've added the flour to the bowl, we're gonna add some 0 carb sweetener. Today, I'm using Swerve to keep my brookie sugar-free, and I'm gonna be using about a heaping tablespoon or 12 grams of it. Now, the next thing I'm gonna add is gonna be about a tablespoon or 5 grams of some sugar-free chocolate chips. And then I'm gonna add my melted butter from earlier, and I'm gonna give everything a good mix with my spatula. By the way, make sure the butter is not too hot when you add it in there. Otherwise, you'll run the risk of melting those chocolate chips while the ingredients combine with one another. And speaking of ingredients, I almost forgot to add this half teaspoon or 2 grams of vanilla extract. So make sure you add that in there too. Now, eventually a thick dough will start to form in the bowl, and then you'll be able to form a ball of dough out of it like this. Then when we've made that ball of dough, we can get it in the fridge and we can start working on our brownie. So in a small bowl, we're gonna add around 1.5 tablespoons or 20 grams of some salted butter, along with about 3 tablespoons or 15 grams of some sugar-free chocolate chips. And then we're gonna give that a quick micro until the butter melts. Now, just like we did before, as that's melting, we're gonna add around a quarter cup or 25 grams of some almond flour to a bowl. Then we're gonna also add about a tablespoon or 10 grams of confectioner Swerve in there. And then we can get out our melted butter and chocolate chips, mix those up, and pour the chocolate sauce that's formed from us doing that into the bowl as well. So now, as you're seeing here, we're gonna mix those up and form our brownie batter dough out of those ingredients. And then when we form that ball of dough, we're gonna set a little bit aside for later, and we're going to press out the dough into the shape of a rectangle about 6 inches long and 2 inches wide. Then when we form that, we're going to get our cookie dough back out, and we're going to add that to our brownie dough. And at this point, I like to add another tablespoon or 5 grams of sugar-free chocolate chips to the top of my cookie dough. And then when I've done that, I'm gonna add some of that brownie batter that I saved from earlier to the top of the cookie dough as well. Now, when we've done all that, we're gonna use a knife to cut the rectangular piece of dough into 2 square pieces, and then we can either eat them just like that because they're safe to eat without cooking them, or we can microwave our keto brookies in 2 30-second cookie intervals to warm them up a little bit and make them ooey gooey, or we can cook them in the oven at 325 degrees for around 10 minutes to get the same result as well. Anyway, after you cook them, you'll end up with some delicious looking, low carb, gluten-free keto brookies like this. As always, for more info on today's recipe, check out the video description below, and I'll see you in the next one.